Alright, we are back, and spawning in the lower right hand corner is Donjuancho down 0-1 in the best of 3 series. Up left, to a little bit of trouble there with the drone micro, is Brobotics up in the series. And we're on Shakira's Plateau right now. What do you think about this map, Brobotics?
Well, I don't know why they named it after the pop singer Shakira, but I'm okay with that. Yeah, I think this is a good one for Protoss because it's easy to get your second. Some people don't like the third, but I like taking the third that is like right in between the two near the Zelnaga Watchtower, because you've got a real thin area in between the Watchtower and that third where you can do force fields or you can even wall off. Yeah, so I like it because of that.
Yeah, I think this is a really interesting map because if you secure these two Zelnaga Watchtowers, you pretty much have all the vision that's gonna any land army that goes in between from left to right. I mean, later in the game you can break down these rocks and do that, but you really don't see that happen very often.
Now I've heard that some people complain about this map because Terrans, they say, can get a siege tank wall along the middle and basically divide the map in half too easily. I don't really come into that problem too much because I play Protoss, and Protoss doesn't really worry about mech too much against Terran. What do you think about that comment?
Yeah, I mean, playing Zerg, just get out some Broodlords. But what is really annoying is they can get some siege tanks up here, and that's just really hard, especially if you have an expansion right here, they can just fire down. But something that I've seen that's cool, which is more applicable to this map, is I've seen someone get sight up here, drop some infested Terran bombs up top, and siege this expansion right here. I thought that was a pretty cool little tactic.
So we're seeing a fast expand here by Brobotics, which is actually my ex-girlfriend at the time. Her name's Tara.
No, she was your current girlfriend at the time.
At the time, yeah. So I guess she's getting more ballsy since she won the last one. She's going for that fast expand, not as scared before. She's getting to expand before the 3 spine crawlers, which is I think more standard and smarter and better, and sure, ballsy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but definitely down on the harvester count. Not
very Zerg-like.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So it looks like Donjuancho does scout it. So we will see how she responds. Looks like she's sending out another drone. I wonder if she's looking for try to put up a proxy pylon. Maybe start getting that warp gate.
Yeah, usually I wouldn't recommend a second scout, and it looks like it's returning back home. I guess it was just scouting that half of the map.
Maybe
I don't know.
Checking for a proxy hatch. It's good. Good scout.
So we got a handful of lings out here. Where are they going to go?
Let's see.
They're going to go scout?
A little late on this second queen. I'd like to see that get out a little bit earlier. So it looks like Brobotics will be scouting the red
and attacking.
Toss.
Get it. Get that stalker.
Alright, well, he did do 15 damage on the shield.
And he will get 100% refund on that in about 2 seconds here.
That will come back. Looks like we have a idle pro, but all in all, that's a good amount of harvesters right now. So I don't know. It's tough to call right now because
how are the two doing income-wise compared together?
Well, pretty close income. Looks like Protoss getting a little more gas. Kind of banking some minerals right now.
Protoss is up a bit more in mineral income as well. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep, having 5 more harvesters
That'll
definitely
do it.
helps. And yeah, except that Brobotics has has an expansion up, so we're gonna see.
But the thing with 2 expansions is that you need to make more drones to make it worthwhile.
Mm-hmm. That is true. Let's not forget that.
Unless there's 20 drones in production, then I take it all back. No drones in production, but that's okay.
So it looks like we're both supply blocked right here. That's unfortunate news. And it looks like none of them are getting more supply. Oh, there we go. Getting some pylons.
There, I like the double pylon.
There we go. And some overlords. Sorry, I missed that. We got some overlords going down.
I like 2 at a time.
Yep. And oh, definitely Stefano style, right?
It's a way to overreact when you're supply locked.
Stefano actually likes to get a flock.
Yeah, but
overlords.
Stefano usually does it when he's on 4 or 5 bases.
Yeah, well, the max Roche is 3 base. So I'm interested to see this here. You got 4 gate, and like we said, this is kind of a show match right now. So they are pretty nervous. I mean, this is a best of 3, and there's a lot online.
And they're also really new to StarCraft. Have only been playing for maybe 1 month at this point.
Yeah, maybe 1 month, and not very seriously. Haven't been doing any laddering. They don't even have their own accounts. They are just smurfing on our accounts right now. And so she hasn't opted to warp these 2 into warp gates. That's just must be the nerves right now. And
Yeah.
going for that Twilight Council again. Very early Twilight Council.
Yeah, if you remember from the last game, she didn't actually use the Twilight Council, so maybe she'll use it to get Blink here, or maybe Dark Templars.
Yeah, she did get Blink in the last game, but at the lower levels,
I didn't notice that.
At the lower levels, I don't think it's quite as helpful. It's too much APM intensive, and I'd really rather either just skip it all together or get charged for the charge lots. That's my take on that.
Probably good for the very low noobish of the noobs.
Yeah, I mean, you can always work on the Blink micro.
But I think this is a good example here of how a fast expansion is not going to help you if you don't have enough workers. Those 5 workers could be up in the main doing just the same amount of income.
Yep, exactly, yep.
Well, maybe not exactly, but...
Oh, exactly 5. Yep, it's the optimal. Generally, we say it's about 16. Oh, it looks like she's pushing out right now. Bring that probe along.
Yep. That's for the proxy pylons. You know it is.
Or it's just for harassment. And
well, when they're going to walk by each other.
Wait. Oh, they just say, screw it. We're just going to do base trade.
They're not fighting today.
Right now.
They're not fighting.
I think
they agreed on a base trade.
Looks like they have maybe a little alliance here.
Oh, whoa.
Uh-oh.
Zerg realizes first, no, those are not Zerg units. Those are bad guy units.
This is not a 2v2.
And this first attack not going so well for the Protoss.
Yeah, Protoss is not looking good. But putting down this pylon here, gonna warp in some reinforcements pretty soon. Uh-oh, looks like attacking his own Roach. Uh-oh, going back.
Ooh, ow,
Oh,
he must have been a traitor Roach.
Oh, wow. Hero Stalker right there. And will she be able to warp in some units?
So that's a pretty darn close first engagement, I gotta say.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
but the reinforcements come in from the...
And Blink is done. So let's see. No one producing anything right now. Let's see how we are. I think that's a big lead right there in the harvesters.
Huge difference.
They didn't have the second one going, but I think, as Brobot said, it's so key. Make sure you get that saturated for you new players. Get your base saturated. You can expand early, but make sure that you get those harvesters out. So it does look like she's going to continue on with this pure Roach Ling style. It'd be interesting to see if she gets any Banelings up. Last game she didn't, so we will see. Maybe deal with, well, it's not the best against Stalkers with Blink. So we'll see.
I don't totally agree with that. I think Roaches are imba against Protoss. You can just max
Roaches.
out on Roaches, and as long as you can get them close enough, then they will pretty much kill everything.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Of course, I'm not meaning that literally. They don't kill Void Rays. They don't spit up yet. Wait till Heart of the Swarm.
I don't know. Have you seen Stefano? His counter to Void Ray is Roach, so...
Yeah.
Gotta be careful with that. Bringing out some drones, looks like that must have just been a little misclick.
But this is another thing for this lower leagues, too, is that Roach is so strong against Protoss. I mean, if you think about it, a Roach costs half the cost of a Stalker, but is about the equivalent fighting strength-wise. But the way that Protoss can beat Roaches is with a lot of micro, like Blink micro, or force fields especially. So in the lower levels, the Protoss probably doesn't have that kind of skill, so a whole bunch of Roaches is probably going to be better. Now, if you've ever played against the lower leagues or Smurfed or anything, you know that lower league Protoss love to go lots of Void Rays. And we've got another engagement here.
Looks like that little standoff, but the Cold War is over. They're engaging right now. Let's see who will take this. Oh, this is close.
This is pretty close.
Focus
And
firing.
the warp in reinforcements.
I think that's going to be too much. And right now, we're just kind of floating some high minerals right here on both sides. But Zerg really
So I think
needs a macro hatch. Throw down a macro hatch, start hitting these injects, get some more larvae out, pump out those drones, pump out those roaches.
that last battle I think would have been a lot closer, but the warp and reinforcements totally won the day. I was reading an article not too long ago about, I think it was on Reddit, and it was talking about how in this kind of game, whoever has the higher army has much more advantage than just say one army has 10% more. It means they're going to do 10% better in battle. That's not true at all. In this kind of a game, if you have say 10% more army or power from your army, you could kill like 30% more than you would have if it was even armies. I don't know if I really said that right, but maybe check on.
No, that is some deep insight right there.
Maybe check on some Reddit and go into that. But the purpose of talking about it is that's why macro is so important, and that's why if you go on Reddit and or Team Liquid and you say, hey, help me out, I'm a low level guy, everyone's just going to say macro better. And the reason is because at this low of a level, macro, like having a bigger army, just matters so much more than pretty much anything else.
And yeah, just to get into that a little bit more, just on the Zerg side, people are going to say that, and you might be like, yeah, more macro, okay, but really I just want to make a lot of roaches. Well, part of that is, your macro, making sure you hit those injects, making sure you have optimal harvester count, and really just hitting those injects. That's what separates the pros from masters between grandmasters, is that they won't miss one inject the entire game.
And by the way, I don't think we mentioned this yet, but I myself am a Protoss player. I've played like forever, maybe 10 years, and recently got into the Masters League, so yes, not too shabby.
Congratulations on that.
Thanks.
That's impressive. And just get back here, we have a third going down for the Protoss, and look at that.
Nice probe transfer.
Yeah. So we're looking mined out on the main base, and we're looking pretty good at the natural, and I like that. She's got some Colossus coming up. She's got one Colossus out already.
Excellent choice.
And it looks like Brobotics is not going to be able to counter this unless she gets up some sort of something to counter these Colossus before they get too many in number.
Colossus is a great choice because she hasn't seen any sign of airplay from the Zerg, and that's about the only thing that Colossus are scared of is stuff from the air.
Yeah, I believe this is
two
Brobot's
Stargates.
Favorite right here. I know he's praying and hoping that she transfers to carriers, but I'm pretty sure she won't.
I am a huge fan of big air.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, especially against Zerg.
So if you guys ever see him online, just get ready. Just start making corruptors at the very beginning. Sorry.
Hydras.
Brobot.
Make Hydras.
Oh yeah, Hydras.
So we got 3 base versus 2 base. We've got lots of workers for Donjuancho versus not so many for Brobotics.
Yeah, it looks like it's quite a disparity there. 24 versus 55. It is good. I do like that she's added some more workers here. We're above the 5 count right now. But just looking at it, look at the difference between these mineral patches right here and this mineral patch.
Or even
you can really tell, but it's very little.
Or even check the third where that she just saturated it. Yeah, much more saturation there.
It's looking good. It's looking good. So I don't know. She hasn't started producing anything. Maybe it's just some sort
supply
of counter.
Supply blocked.
Oh yeah, but I like that. See, this is something late game.
Just do it. You got so much minerals. Just throw a bunch of pylons down.
Spam those. So now we're moving out. So we have an interesting mix here. We have the Baneling Ling with roaches and then a couple of Hydras just to back up. But that looks... There's nothing to deal with these Colossus.
Yeah, the Colossus here are doing so much damage. They're doing so much area of effect. Unfortunately, the Zerg I don't think is attacking. I think they...
It looks like they're trying to focus fire. Actually, that's not bad.
Yeah, that is a smart idea.
Oh, but just having that...
Yeah, so they took care of 2 Colossus. The problem is they didn't even phase that ground army, which is now going to swoop in and
it looks like
probably deal some critical damage here.
Looks like we're going to game 3 at Donjuancho is 100 supply above, and looks like that's going to be it for our Zerg player. Looks like this is going to come down to the 3rd game. We shall see.
But Brobotics with the never die, never surrender attitude
Yep. And
is going to try to make more
there we
roaches.
go. Got some roaches out, but those are just going to get cleaned up too quick. So it's interesting. Donjuancho is kind of sitting on this ramp. Oh, there it is. That's no GG.
Ooh, ouch.
All right, yep.
BM.
All right, check out the third match in the best of 3.